Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to B2B Marketing and More with Pam Didner. With the fast deployment of vaccinations, many companies are gearing to full opening. That means you have to redo your marketing plan. So what do you need to pay attention to, right? Is virtual communication here to stay? What about the content? Which one should you update or refresh? Do you need to look into your website? There are many elements to consider. What I want to talk about today are 5 trends that you need to pay attention to redo your marketing plan. So let's get started. Number 1, virtual communication is here to stay, but everyone is craving for in-person communication. Do you remember the struggle and the drama that we all went through learning how to use Zoom or Teams or any kind of virtual meeting platforms that we need to know and how to use it? What about the scrambling to move the lamps around so we can get a better lighting when we do our virtual meetings until we broke down and buy multiple different selfie lights to make ourselves look good? Remember all the cleaning that we have to do just to make sure that the background clutterness will not be shown in the back of our videos, right? All that crap that we have done to make ourselves look good in front of camera, you know what? Too much money and effort have been invested into it. We are not going to let that go. No way. The kids may go back to school full time, but they have the option to do virtual learning. We still prefer to see our doctors when we get sick, but if we don't want to drive, we can do online visit. The virtual communication infrastructure is set up somehow. We will continue to take advantage of that. Meanwhile, even marketing is likely to have a hybrid model. You can have in-person conferences and also online conferences. That means you can offer 2 different tiers of pricing for your attendees, and it will also impact in terms of your content distribution. Does that make sense? Second things, digital customer touchpoints continue to surge. Then you will need to modify your customer journey to add additional touchpoints specifically for digital and enhance your offerings online and also on your website. That means your digital marketing expenses should go up, not go down, even though we're still looking to in-person communication. Third, sales team and all of us will need to continue to sharpen our virtual communication skills, such as use camera like what I'm doing right now to record a greeting or follow-up that will increase emotional connection with your prospect, and you can embed that videos as a part of email follow-up. By talking to many marketers and the sales professionals, I can tell all of us are done with COVID. We are done with the virtual communications, but it's still essential moving forward. And we want to see, touch, and feel our colleagues, our friends, our agency partners, even the ones we are not particularly fond of. We still want to give them a hug. That means the conferences are also here to stay. The event industry will have a strong comeback in the near future. If you are even marketers, be ready. Trend number 2, content is still king. During the pandemic, the biggest issue was how fast everything was changing. And that was hard on marketers. A little change in strategy has a huge impact in terms of the marketing execution and implementations. A change in strategy may require different channels to communicate your message. A change of messaging and creative concept may require you to redo your whole campaigns with different copies and messaging selections for the paid and social media. If you are marketers who are in the trenches, you know exactly what I'm talking about. With all the changes, the best way to communicate is through content. I'm talking about original content. Well, look at the explosive growth of TikTok. That's all original content. It's basically everybody is creating their original content to entertain someone else. In the business world, Content plays a critical role in communicating. For example, your company may have a strong stand for certain kind of social causes, right? For social equality and social justice. Well, you use content to communicate that. If you have a new protocols and processes that change for the in-store or even online to keep your customer safe, well, you talk about it. The best way to talk about it and communicate content, right? If your new product have a new features and you have a new product launches, well, you want to showcase your product and show and tell content. Ultimately, content is still king. The key is post-COVID. You need to determine which content that you want to update, you want to refresh, and also maybe you need to create something new. How do you determine the content to update and refresh? You need to figure that out. You need to look at your content and determine that. So be prepared. Make sure you take time to do that part of planning. If you have any question in terms of how to do that, let me know. We can talk about it. Number 3, digital customer experience is your product. Once upon a time, the surge of digital usage was mostly a holiday thing, like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Today, the digital customer experience is pretty much an everyday thing. It's given. It needs to be easy for your prospects and the customers to find information you want to share. You also need to make it easy for them to buy. In a way, you should treat your digital customer experience like your product, not a cost center. We tend to spend tons of money and time to design, revise, and test and optimize our products. That mentality also applies to the digital customer experience design because that's the gateway for your customers to engage with you, and that's also the gateway to create the first impression. The engagement and impression will also determine whether they will buy from you or not. You can take a page from the major e-commerce sites such as Amazon, Wayfair, and IKEA. A great example I want to share with you is Cash App's experience of buying and selling Bitcoin. The Bitcoin has been a hot commodity, but many people still don't know where to buy them. Cash App from Square, all right, make it easy for their customers to buy and sell the Bitcoins. You can download the Cash App and click on the Bitcoin button. Once you click on that, it will take you directly to buy and sell screen that you can buy and sell Bitcoin. It's that easy. That's exactly what you need to do to make your digital customer experience like your own product. You'll get your money back when your digital customer experience is seamless and smooth. Mark my words. Number 4, sales and marketing alignment. In this fast-changing world, both sales and marketing needs to work together. So these are the couple statements I'm going to make, all right, for both organizations. Sales, please stop complaining about the quality of leads. Work together with your marketing team to define that. What is the clear definition of MQL and SQL? Sales, stop complaining about lacking of content. Tell your marketing the types of content you need. Marketing people, go out of your way to understand your salespeople. I know they are not pleasant to work with sometimes, but remember, make an extra effort because they carry companies' revenue on their shoulders. I understand. I work for myself. I carry that sales revenue goal on my shoulders. At the same time, I'm a marketer, so I get it. Marketing. Make it easy for your salespeople to sort content. Explain clearly what each content is. Tag content with the right keywords, target audience, industries, or whatever your salespeople search. Add those keywords so it's easy for them to find content. Hold each other accountable. So I wrote several blog posts. It's listed in the description. You can check them out. I talk about what you can do as a marketer to better support your sales team. Check them out and let me know what you think. Trend number 5, workflow and the processes are your competitive advantage. Let me explain that. When digital marketing becomes complicated, marketers tend to get overwhelmed. And the best way to overcome that is to understand the nuts and bolts behind the scenes. In other words, you need to understand how things are done and how data moves from one point to another. If you are in email marketing, can you document each step from the headline creation, sourcing and selecting content, building the template, sending the email out, down to tracking analytics? You probably can describe that verbally, but can you document each process? Once you have that documented, you and your team can sit back and determine what some areas that which is manually done can be done automatically, what some areas that you can consolidate multiple steps to make yourself a little bit more efficient. You can also determine where your platform should play more roles in terms of each step. Once you actually have a process, then you can determine how you can better optimize it. Right? Once you start optimizing it, you can become a whole lot more automatic in terms of process, and you can scale. And on top of it, having that kind of knowledge can actually help you to see the big picture. You can carry a more strategic conversation with your management because you have that in-depth knowledge in terms of what needs to be done. When things get done, you know how each others will impact, right? Each element, then explain and help the management understand. So understanding processes and also steps will become your asset if you decide to move up. So these are the 5 trends I'm sharing with you. Number 1, virtual communication is here to stay, but everyone is craving for in-person communication. That means your digital marketing budget still needs to go up, but you need to balance that with events and other in-person marketing type of budget. Number 2, content is still king. Try to understand the type of content that you need to repurpose, refresh, and or you need to create a new one. And have a budget set aside for that as well. And take time to evaluate your content. Number 3, customer experience is your product. Educate your management in terms of customer experience is your product. You should treat it like your product, not a cost center. Number 4, the sales and marketing alignment. Be very proactive. Talk to your salespeople. Engage with them. Yes, like I said, I know they are difficult sometimes, but show your value. Number 5, competitive advantage comes from your understanding of processes and the workflow. When you understand that, you can carry a strategic conversation with your management. For all of us that went through the whole 2020 pandemic nightmare, here are some of my biggest takeaways. Almost everything that needed to be done in person can somehow be done virtually. With mandatory stay home, we find alternatives to build that human connection, such as virtual happy hours, right? Virtual family time. As painful as it has been, we prove that we are resilient and nimble. And that's what we need to think and act in marketing as well. If you like the video, please comment and subscribe below. Love to hear from you. If you have any specific questions, hello@pamdidner.com. Reach out to me anytime. Take care. Bye.